The highest grossing film of 1998 was Armageddon. What happened? Well, there's a giant asteroid headed towards Earth. So Ben Affleck, Bruce Willis, and Liv Tyler decide they're going to fly up there onto the asteroid, split it in half with explosives, and so the parts go around Earth. They avoid Earth. It sounds like science fiction stuff. But it sounds like we've got the technology today to do it. Why do I say that? Because there's something called space mining. And what companies are planning to do, if they have not already, is fly up to these asteroids and take gold and rare earth elements off of them. My name is Paul Pasulka, Ivy Masters Learning Center at ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 1, Section 1, number 50, which reads, the author of Passage 2 would most likely respond to the discussion of the future of space mining in line 18 to 28 of Passage 1 by claiming that such a future, what? So you should always look at the line reference first. I'm looking at Passage 1 first, not because it's Passage 1, but because it's line reference, and then we're going to see what Passage 2 says about this type of thing. Passage 1 says, within a few decades, these firms may be meeting earthly demands for precious metals such as platinum and gold and rare earth elements vital for personal electronics such as yttrium and lanthanum. But like the gold rush pioneers who transformed the western United States, the first space miners won't just enrich themselves. They also hope to build an off-planet economy free of any bonds with Earth, in which the materials extracted and processed from the moon and asteroids are delivered for space-based projects. Pretty cool stuff. Now, what does Passage 2 guy say about that type of a thing? He seems more hesitant. How do we know? But before miners start firing up their rockets, we should pause for thought. At first glance, space mining seems to sidestep most environmental concerns. So it sounds like he's concerned with the environment, and then it talks about no life on asteroids and thus no habitats to trash. So that is a consideration. When we move on, let's say over here, others will suggest that glutting ourselves on space riches is not an acceptable alternative to develop a more sustainable ways of life on Earth. Now notice, sustainability is mentioned here, but it's mentioned for sustainability for life on Earth. It does not say anything, and I'm telling you this specifically because it's why one of the wrong answers is wrong. Sustainability is talked about just on Earth, and it does not say that it's unsustainable, like we're going to run out of gold on the asteroids. It may be true that we could run out of gold on the asteroids, but if that's not what the article says, we cannot answer according to that. And then what else do we have to consider for our answer here? This last paragraph, space miners, like their earthly counterparts, are often reluctant to engage with such questions. The questions are here, but I think we get the point from this last paragraph. One speaker last week's space mining forum in Sydney, Australia, concluded with a plea that regulation should be avoided. So this is a businessman, someone who's trying to make money off of space mining. Don't regulate, he says. But miners have much to gain from the broad agreement on the for-profit exploitation of space. Without consensus, what's that? That's everyone agrees. Everyone agrees on what? Regulation. Claims will be disputed, investments risky, and gains made insecure. It's in all our long-term interest to seek one out. So he's urging that these businesses should all agree on regulation before we start firing up our rockets. Let's go to the answer choices, see what they have to say. So once again, the question, the author of Passage 2 most likely responds to the discussion we saw on Passage 1. We're going to fire up our rockets and take all these precious metals off of asteroids. In line 18 to 28, Passage 1, by claiming that such a future, answer is inconsistent with the sustainable use of space resources. Again, he does talk about sustainability on Earth, but not that we're going to run out of space resources. Answer choice B will be difficult to bring about in the absence of regulation. That actually looks like a good answer choice based on that last paragraph. Answer choice C cannot be attained out technologies that do not yet exist. It sounds like we're in the planning phases of it, based on both of the passages, actually, and that we have the technology to do. We just got to sort everything out. Asteroids D seems certain to affect Earth's economy in a negative way. So one of the passages talking about a separate Earth economy, and neither of them saying that it's going to hurt Earth's economy. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble with these paired passage questions. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.